Throughout the last few essays, we've touched on platformers with Ori and the Blind Forest, a wide scope in a narrow world. We've delved into classic side-scrollers in the shape of Another World, where flat vector environments covered so much more than a two-dimensional experience. We even looked at a 2D RPG that breathed new life into prose and poetry while presenting deep and meaningful gameplay in Child of Light. So for the next video I wanted to look at something completely different and go a bit deeper. In fact, I wanted to go as deep as the ocean would take me, in Abzu. Different to the other games we've looked at, Abzu is a fully 3D game, and more than offering us an additional dimension, it gives us an entirely different and unique experience. Director Matt Nava brought his own love for the ocean in diving into the gameplay experience, and it can be felt through and through. His love for ancient history is also apparent in the many old underwater cities and buildings that you swim through. Abzu can be plainly classified as an atmospheric exploration game, but that, all puns aside, is just scratching the surface of a much more vast and emotional impression. Now, the general point and flow of the game is simple and uncomplicated, and it gives the game a straightforward flow that doesn't distract you with health bars, experience points, or even oxygen usage, because that's not what it's about. It was sculpted and crafted to be a calming and therapeutic experience that means something. In Abzu there are no characters, no complex personalities, and no opposing sides. Dare I say, there's also no real protagonist, as we can place ourselves in the flippers of the diver and live the experience of the ocean. There is of course a narrative, and narrative requires some form of character presence. We play as a diver, a nameless person who sets off on a journey into the depths. The motivations are simple. We are fighting a darkness that is present within the ocean and is poisoning it, in a manner of speaking. The diver exposes no weaknesses or specific traits, giving we the players the opportunity not to be distracted by such things, and instead allows us to envision the diver as whomever we want it to be. It could be us watching someone else over their shoulder, or it could be just us. The diver shows some hints of frailty that connects us to the character, and although we never truly feel threatened, we do understand the vulnerability of being in such an environment and the deterioration of the diver throughout the mission. With a splash, we are dropped into the unknown, and we dive deeper with every passing minute until we are in a strange and alien world right here in our own oceans. Where dialogue, character growth, story and gameplay are the main focus in other games, the atmosphere is everything in Abzu. From the shallows where the sunlight breaks the surface of the water, to the depths and dark reaches where we feel utterly alone, Abzu is all about the experience. Visuals and audio are brought together in a ballet of entanglement, and it pulls us into an immersive world and makes us a core part of it. The art in Abzu is simple but volumetric, and none of the experience suffers from a lack of detail. The detail here is in the life of the game. Every fish, every sea creature, and every bit of plant life feels genuine and alive. We are exposed to a world that lives and moves with its own life and order, and we feel like although we have a goal to complete, our role within this world is negligible. On land, we may have built cities and monuments, but once underwater, surrounded by behemoths and schools of fish large enough to disappear into, we start to understand that we are but a small feature on less than 30% of the Earth's surface. In the depths, we are the strangers and at the absolute mercy of the water and its inhabitants. Though hardly anything we encounter through our journey is hostile or threatening, we cannot help but feel insignificant in this world. Our presence here means little apart from our mission. The colours used in Abzu, though naturally with a lot of blue, plays so well throughout different areas, adventures and emotions. Fish are vibrant and their coordinated swimming is a gorgeous sight. Breaking through them tears graceful holes in their formations, but mere seconds after you've passed through, it's like you've never disturbed them at all. The larger sea life is awe-inspiring and extremely daunting at the same time. Swimming between the colossal whales is a chilling experience, but you don't really want it to end either. It breaks all reason in our emotions when we feel so small and unimportant, yet so involved at the same time. There's a deep translation here that speaks not only through color and sound, but also through the creatures around you. Its serenity is invigorating and relaxing at the same time. To bind these together, the astonishing visuals are fortified and supported by a grand soundtrack that speaks through strings, brass and woodwind. The soft and graceful choir scores gives the ocean a voice and serves as the connection between us and the sea. A sublime view becomes a masterly experience with Austin Wintory's stunning score to surround us with emotions and awe, conveyed through the most cleverly selected instruments to best interpret an underwater journey. It's no surprise for Austin to be able to get these details so right, as is shown so many times and through so many games. And in Abzu, it is no less so. There's vulnerability to his work in Abzu, but also grandeur. We hit both the highs and the lows through sight, sound and emotion. The gameplay of Abzu is straightforward, linear and simple, all of which is perfect for what it sets out to accomplish. Abzu isn't a rush game, a story-heavy journey, or a fight through enemies. It's about exploration and discovery, both within the ocean and within ourselves. The game consists of a few basic puzzles that are quick and easy to solve, and a few simple point-to-point missions to move forward within the game. We find small robots that help us through certain areas that block us. We enter buildings to unlock, uncover and advance. We loosen chains to open doors and gates, and we swim through tombs and ancient buildings to find our way through this underwater world toward our final destination. With the absence of a health bar, oxygen counter or weapons of any kind, Abzu is a peaceful experience that expects us to free the ocean and play a key role in a modest yet grand mission. Movement is graceful and simple, with independent camera controls to allow for proper navigation and, more importantly, observation of the incredible world around us. The diver can even latch onto larger creatures and take a swim with them with marginal control. Another exceptional feature is the meditate function, where the diver can take seat on a statue and simply observe the ocean life around. We are even told the names of each creature we observe, serving not an educational role as much as it enhances the understanding we gain for the seas. More even, we are not just limited to the sea life of our own time, as we get to take a dive into the past and see things we'd never expect to. The real experience here is the life of the sea and how every single creature feels alive and intelligent and act naturally. We are given fish that break form and return to it, fish that interact with the diver and with each other, and fish that swim alongside you, instead of fish that just swim away. There's nothing exceptionally fancy or different when it comes to the core gameplay of Abzu. But what makes it truly exceptional is that exact fact. We aren't distracted by complex controls or a magnitude of action options. We get to play through the game while often even forgetting that we are holding a controller in our hands, and that is truly remarkable. tale of Abzu is told through zero dialogue, text or spoken word. The visual storytelling is sublime, but to call Abzu a romance of visual storytelling would be unfair to the music and sound that forms just as big a part of the narrative. As an outsider, we venture through the ocean on a journey to defeat an evil. This is no specific enemy or loud and threatening foe, but instead an object that poisons the ocean. It could be an alien ship or some sort of artifact, we don't know for sure, but it's this mystery that adds to the wonder. We don't ask for complicated explanations either, but that's what makes it so beautiful. It's more than just that. We are tasked not to destroy or kill this foreign enemy, but rather render it powerless and let the sea take back what belongs to it. The story of Abzu is one of our spirits and that of the ocean. It's about our reactions and our own personal experience more so than the tale of a dark force harming the seas. Our true experience is that of saving this world that we do not belong to or even matter to, and it gives us a new appreciation for the great depths. Abzu is an emotional journey, and although I'm personally generally uncomfortable in the deep ocean, there's absolutely nothing frightening about it. If anything, the game has given me an insight into the world that I now acknowledge and understand just a little bit better. Abzu is a love letter to the ocean, and what it praises about the waters, it does so in a respectful and appreciative way. Now if you liked what I had to say, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos about games as works of art.